concern about the high level of diabetes in Barbados. And in sports, Chelsea advances in 2 divisions in the Independence Bowl Pro-Am.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
A very good evening to you. I'm Pearson Bowen. Prime Minister Frendel Stuart says Cabinet has already intervened to save the sugar industry in Barbados. His comments follow a media report suggesting that farmers in the sector want him to step in and help the ailing industry. Lisa Lord reports.
The Prime Minister says while he did not see the article in question, members of Cabinet spent a considerable amount of time yesterday discussing the measures needed to transform the sugar industry into a sugarcane industry. He says at present, government supports the industry to the tune of $72 million every year, as it has been on a steady decline.
As recently as, I believe, the early 60s, Barbados was producing 200,000 tons of sugar. Today, if we get to 15,000 tons, we're lucky. So the graph has been pointing downward for the sugar industry for some time.
The Prime Minister was speaking to the media following the blessing of the nation service at the St. Philip Primary School in celebration of the island's 48 years of independence. Mr. Stuart has assured Barbadians that they have no need to worry despite the issues facing the economy.
We have the challenges within focus, and we are working steadily on them to get the economy of Barbados back to normal, where growth can take place and where the economy can begin to expand and the cake can begin to get a little larger again, so that more people can benefit from the country's prosperity.
Mr. Stuart says Barbados has been a success story despite its small size, and he told parents and teachers to encourage students to think big regardless of their circumstances, adding that Barbados cannot afford mediocrity.
So that they have an understanding that the circumstances of their birth, their upbringing, the fact that they may not be as materially well off as others that they know, those factors do not determine what you can make of your life.
Following this morning's service, the Prime Minister also used the occasion to greet the students and their teachers, as well as tour some of the independence exhibits. Lisa Lord, CBC News.
An overseas-based Barbadian scholar does not think it makes sense for Barbados to continue investing millions of dollars into the sugar industry. In fact, Professor Hilborn Watson says the future of export agriculture in general is slim. He was delivering the 9th Patrick Emanuel Memorial Lecture entitled The Caribbean at the Crossroads in the Crisis of Capitalism. That was last night at the Cayfield campus. Professor Watson says even if Barbados tries to refurbish or build a new factory to replace Port Vale, it will be difficult to find an investor who will pump the hundreds of millions needed to fund that construction. He says the sugar industry in Barbados and the region will no longer be competitive.
There is scarcely any Caribbean country today producing sugar for the world market that produces it at less than 25 to 33 cents per pound. And the world market price hovers around 11 to 13 cents. Why would anybody want to buy sugar at 29 or 23 or 30 cents if it's on the world market at 13? And Barbados cannot go back to where it was with sugar. There is no future there, not because there's a lot of idle land. You say, hey, we have the land, let's grow the canes and the sugar. It doesn't work like that. If that were so, it would be very simple.
Professor Watson is Professor Emeritus of International Relations at Bucknell University in the U.S. He says another development that will affect Barbados is the move towards putting tertiary education online, as is happening in the U.S. According to him, the universities that are sponsored by state governments are now required to put all of their content online to ensure wider access to education.
The World Bank has joined, some UN agencies are involved, and a number of private universities, the so-called Ivies, Harvard, MIT, Yale and company, are also in this business. And only last week, Cornell announced that they are putting a large number of courses online, free of charge. Now, some of these are for fee, But I want to suggest that this is a new thing, and as soon as they have worked out the accreditation process, you are going to see a massive shift. And what am I getting at here? That this is going to drive down the average price of labor on a global scale, and that is what the big investors want.
Regional private sector officials have been challenged to form partnerships as the Caribbean Exporters Colloquium was brought to a close. The suggestion came from Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, Senator Maxine McLean, in her closing remarks at the two-day event at the Hilton Hotel.
Partner with government and the individual citizens of this country to create new financing mechanisms, and one such mechanism or one such investment possibility is to address in part maritime transportation. And I can tell you that properly studied and done with some creative thinking in terms of what exists out there or what can be constructed, and I'm not thinking strictly of a fast ferry because that may not take us from the farthest south to the highest, point in the north. But if we look at those things, we can use those models. There are financial resources sitting in the region. There's intellectual capacity, I don't need to tell you about that. And there are so many opportunities which we need to look for.
Government is going to intensify its ongoing renewable energy thrust by investing in an ocean thermal energy conversion or OTEC plant. This from Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister with responsibility for energy, Senator Darcy Boyce. He made the comment while addressing the 4th Caribbean Sustainable Energy Forum at the Caribbean Development Bank.
We are hopeful that another major project for generating sustainable energy will be an OTEC plant, Ocean Thermal Efficiency Conversion. And plans are proceeding at the moment on a pilot plant. Investment in OTEC would provide base load generation as well as desalinated water that would be most welcome in a water-scarce country that has little choice but to expand its tourist industry to achieve higher economic growth and provide more jobs.
The minister said an OTEC plant will also give Barbados the opportunity to improve its fishing potential in coastal waters. Meanwhile, he also revealed other energy conservation initiatives that government is undertaking to reduce its energy bill.
These include the procurement of electric vehicles for the public sector and the distribution of 15,000 energy-efficient lights and 2,000 power monitors to households. Furthermore, we have started the retrofitting of government buildings with energy-efficient technologies, including LED lights, and will within the next year be seeking to commence the replacement of over 25,000 existing streetlights into LED lighting.
There are still too many Barbadians with diabetes, and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Joy St. John says complications like amputations and loss of vision indicate that Barbadians are still not taking care of themselves. She was speaking to CBC News as Barbados joins the world in observing World Diabetes Day. According to Dr. St. John, the first line of attack is diet and exercise. She says the Health Ministry is working with its partners to provide the right environment to tackle diabetes and other chronic non-communicable diseases.
In other words, this whole issue of dietary guidelines, not just for adults, but also for children, because we are seeing chronic disease coming up in children, even school-age children, primary school age as well. So we're looking at dietary guidelines. We're also working with the food industry in terms of the choices that are available in terms of cooked and also food that will be used for cooking. We've been working with canteen operators. We've been working with the chefs, but still much needs to be done.
Dr. St. John says the ministry is also focusing on preventing the disease.
Usually diabetes develops and is detected long after first effects on the body. And so we are focusing quite a bit not only on treatment, but also quite a bit on prevention. And I'm going to ask the ladies to take care of themselves. The attitude that I have to die from something doesn't mean that you should look after yourself and ensure that you have quality of life.
Companies in Barbados are being encouraged to implement workplace wellness programs. The message came from Minister John Boyce as he spoke at Pharma Wellness International's launch of the Workplace Wellness Program. Mr. Boyce made the plea in light of startling statistics on the rate of non-communicable diseases in the island.
Chronic non-communicable disease now surpasses ill health and death from all other illnesses, including respiratory and gastrointestinal diseases and accidents, and this is combined. So non-communicable diseases account for more ill health and more deaths in Barbados than all the other sicknesses combined according to our statistics.
And Chairman of the Barbados Diabetes Foundation, Dr. Oscar Jordan, believes the program will be beneficial in many aspects.
Through this paradigm, business managers will notice an increase in your productive output. Insurance companies will benefit from a reduction in their health claims, and individuals will experience a renewed vigor in their own lives.
In addition to the Workplace Wellness Program, the Health Minister revealed his ministry is in the process of launching a project to combat the high levels of non-communicable diseases.
This project has multiple pillars and includes the use of protocols in the management of hypertension, training of primary healthcare professionals in hypertension management, the creation of hypertension registries, and the rational use of antihypertensive medicines. This project has the potential to change the management of hypertension in primary care, ultimately leading to reduced incidence of stroke and heart disease.
More news ahead, but now your take on this question. Do you think too many amputations are performed in Barbados? Text yes or no to the short code 8111. Those results at the end of the news.
Month of November, the hottest tickets in town are for the 2014 NIFCA Performing Arts Gala. On Sunday, November 23rd from 6 p.m., experience the artistic excellence of Blackman Gollop Primary, Praise Academy of Dance, Louise Woodvine Dance Academy, Dancing Africa, Mosaic Steel Orchestra, Haynesville Youth Club, Justin Polian and Megan Navarro, Tahira Gibbons, Janine White, Adrian Green, and a full cast of the best talent at NIFCA 2014. Tickets, adults $30, children 4 to 12, $10. Available from NCF, Ticket Pal, CS Pharmacy, A&B Sounds, Warren's Ticket Center, and Emerald City Supermarket. Brought to you in association with Digicel, Sagicor, Scotiabank, Massey, and CBC. The 2014 NIFCA Gala. Get your tickets now.
Digicel data. Digicel data for life. Data for life. Data for life. Yeah. Cell phone or tablet, I run tracks, book bag, unpack. Stay at home and hold a steady group over WhatsApp. Digicel data got my back, no matter what app. Sharp like a thumbtack, all in a thumb tap. WhatsApp, push that, rally and run laps around dust tracks. I recorded in one snap. Beach fun is Sunday, studying Monday. Surf Tuesday, beach running on Sundays. Data for life.
What up? This is Al Linton. I love, live, and living it up.
We play a very important role as far as kids are concerned. A lot of kids look up to us, you know? And we gotta protect them especially, protect and respect them especially.
Yeah, man, this is Bogina Kente encouraging you to live up, live life, abandon the stigma, don't judge. You understand? Just love people, enjoy yourself. Blessed love, yeah?
Together, we can all erase stigma and discrimination and make the difference. So turn up the message now. Live up, love, protect, respect.
The future appears to be looking bright for the cooking industry in Barbados. This from Chef Peter Eady, who was speaking to the media ahead of the Junior Dueling Chef Showcase at the Garfield Sobers Gymnasium. It's all part of a massive weekend of activities in the culinary arts for this year's Roberts NIFCA Culinary Arena and Expo. Lisa Broom has the story.
Chef Peter Eady says Barbadians appear to be moving away from their cultural cuisines. However, he does have some big plans to keep the food culture here alive. He says his intention is to transform this island's food culture at the highest level. However, if all goes well, his next step will be to introduce cooking challenges in primary schools.
I've gotten calls from lots of different primary schools about competitions and getting them involved. And I really plan to. We're working on it right now. But of course, that's a whole plan that has to be put in place. Of course, financing has to be put in place. And it's a different level of cooking for them. So it's going to be, it will take a lot more people involved because, of course, they're very young. And you have to have like more people for number of students you have up there because they're, of course, still minors. But yes, we're working on it, and something's going to be happening with them very, very soon because it is very, very important to kind of influence how they think about food even at that early age.
Mr. Edie also says he and other chefs will be writing Bajan recipes and promoting them internationally.
Once we have this base made and we have it established in writing, right? And this is what the recipes are. This is how you actually prepare Bajan meal. It comes because you cook this way, you add this, you add that. Then we expect to see all of the international festivals following that kind of a format. Because if you're selling something, if you're selling Barbados through food, we expect you to sell it with true Bajan culture, right? And that's what we are working towards, getting the true Bajan culture established so that if you come here and you see Bajan food, you taste Bajan food, then you can go and reproduce it and say, well, yes, this is Bajan and this is how it's done. So it is not misrepresented anywhere at all that's prepared in the world.
Lisa Broom, CBC News.
Despite the economic recession, sponsors are still supporting community efforts to help the less fortunate. This observation from Vice Chairman of the St. Matthias Community Association, Peter Barrow. He was speaking after receiving a donation from the accounting firm KPMG is to assist with the association's production of this year's Christmas on the Boardwalk, which is expected to have a large turnout.
They've proven to us, or to the community as well, that they as corporate Barbados is not holding the recession against us as a community, but they're giving back whatever little they can. So I would say that we're still finding that we're getting good support from corporate Barbados.
Well-known gospel artist Joseph Niles will be recognized during that event.
One of the features this year is that we are honoring Joseph Niles for his contribution to the music industry. So we will be presenting to the family because he's not well, as you would know, and he's overseas. So his family will be there and we'll be presenting a plaque in recognition of his contribution to the community as well.
All students with the ability to sing need to take their talent more seriously. This from principal of the Parkinson Memorial School, Jeff Brooms.
I mean, get involved in anything in school. When you find the opportunity, get close to your music teacher. You will sing, and you may not be able to go have a voice trainer, but there's some in Barbados. If you get that, that's fine. They may be a cost. But spend your time with your music teacher and get every opportunity to sing, and they will help guide you. I just believe that there are lots of very good singers in Barbados, and someone may see you. You may get that opportunity to perform, whether at the school, a church, or wherever. But all I can say, if you know you have the raw singing ability and you have the interest, sing.
Brooms was speaking during a press conference at the Parkinson School, where students will be participating in a singing competition tomorrow called the Courts Parkinson Super Voice Singing Competition. Meanwhile, students taking part in that competition say they want to take their musical abilities further.
I would like to win. I will also like to place, even if I don't come first, I would like to place. I am a singer, and I would like to take my talent further.
Basically, everyone obviously wants to win. I want to win also. However, if I don't win, I won't be vexed. My main interest is I'm starting a soca band by the name of Soca Explosion. So basically, just want people to know about Rashad and know about the band. So just want to get out with them.
Regional News Net.